Good morning, it is Jane with Scraptastic Yarns, and it's Tuesday, normal Tuesday. What can I say? It's the 19th. Life is crazy. It's all fun and games until you have to do something, right? Okay. Finished items. Alright, let's get into that. I have been using my knitting machine just because I've been having fun with it. And we have another orange hat. Actually, this is called Tangerine. It's one of Red Heart's old colors that they discontinued. And then I did one in Karen's Simply Soft. And I have no idea what the colorway is. I just know it's Karen Simply Soft. And I actually made two of those. And I'll tell you what, Centro machines absolutely love Simply Soft. This one is another one, a Simply Soft. I would imagine it was whatever their camo color was. That's really nice, pretty, soft. Enjoyed making those. A couple of other finished items. I have been making dish scrubby sponges, and this is a dish scrubby sponge, and I tried out some different sizes. And basically what it is you're going to hold the scrubby yarn together with the cotton yarn and crochet them together just in a very long piece, fold it over, sew it, whip stitch the ends. And this was some Mary Maxim scrubby, and I like that. These are all 100% cotton, so, and they do have that scrub factor, so there you go, right? How can you go wrong with that? Now I'm going to admit something. It's chilly up here. It's chilly in all of our house because temperatures are dipping down at night, so air conditioners don't need to be used any longer. And I'm freezing. So I'm thinking maybe my Nan's Next Knot blanket that I was 3 weeks behind on, that I finally got up. Maybe I need to wear that while I'm sewing today. Anyway, here are the colorways. And this is the new color that was used, number 8. This is Reef in Craft Smart, I think. But there you go. I am so glad with the choices that I made this time with the colors. I think it's very nice. Very, very nice. You know, sometimes we have an idea in our head that these colors will go well together, these will go well together, and then we decide, I don't know about that. So, what have I been up to other than that? I'll tell you. Yesterday, I had to go pick up some fabric. And yeah, I'm going to show you the fabric. But, I've been cutting more bags to make, and I will show you the fabric that I chose to cut with. And I love this fabric. It's stunning. There you go. Beautiful, beautiful. Absolutely love it. I've been cutting some of those, and then I had some minions that I needed to cut. So those are cut. Do have a couple more of the Sally and Jack cut. Jack and Sally, I guess. But when I had gone to pick up some other fabrics, I found this fabric. And it's new in my area. And I absolutely love that. just beautiful. Hope you can see that. Let me move my light a little bit. There. Love it. Just love it. And then while I was there, I also saw another one that I liked. Jack and Sally. I think this one is called Bone Party. So it's a nice, fun fabric. Alright, come on. Focus, focus, focus. So, I did pick that up. I also picked up a little bit more of this one. Now I know this is a spring fabric. I don't care. I like it. And then, you know, it's getting Christmas time, so we have to pick up some Christmas fabrics. Getting ready for the Christmas season. And I think that is it. I have been busy cutting cotton batting for some bowl cozies. Got a lot to do still for this craft fair. So that's what I've been up to. And of course tomorrow, stuck all day waiting on the people to come clean the stuff they've never done in all the years we've lived here. That just cracks me up. Anyway, put a little heat on in the room up here. We have one of those radiator heats. So it's not warm enough yet and I'm chilly. I don't like this weather change. Find it interesting, but at the same time I don't really care for it. But I'm much more of a fall girl, even though I don't care for the way the temperature changes so quickly. You know, you're like this month, it seems like you're in the warmer temperatures during the day. Then you get so cold at night. It's like, why can't it be a happy medium in between? That's okay. I think that is it for today. I do have a lot more things that I'm cutting and starting to sew this afternoon. So, you know, there'll be another shop update probably sometime next week. Maybe the end of the week. If I can get things done. Something doesn't change that plan. Like somebody else planning something. Alright, are you ready for a little water intonation? It's just been one of those weeks, guys. This one is an interesting form of birth control. Testicle bath birth control device earns Germany's Dyson prize. A German inventor's unique ultrasound testicle bath birth control device for men took the top prize at the country's James Dyson's Awards. Rebecca Weiss, an industrial design graduate from the University of Munich and an inventor of the COSO male birth control device, was named Germany's winner of the James Dyson Award, which celebrates, encourages, and inspires the designers of new problem-solving ideas. It's interesting. The COSO uses ultrasound testicle bath to temporarily stop sperm mobility. The device only needs to be used every few months to keep the sperm inert and prevent eggs from being fertilized during sex. Weiss said the inspiration for the device came after she was diagnosed with precursor cervical cancer, which has been tied to oral contraceptive pills. Which is true. When my partner and I were looking for an alternative method, we became aware of a lack of male contraceptives, Weiss told Dyson Award officials. And that is true. This problem is not unique to me personally. It affects many others as well, as I made evident in the current growing public discussion about the lack of contraceptive alternatives. Weiss said the lack of male birth control options led her to develop a new contraceptive approach for men in my master's thesis. The inventor said she is hoping the Dyson Award will help her obtain funding to put the COSO through clinical trials. As Germany's winner of Dyson Award, Weiss is now shortlisted for the International Award, which carries a $45,000 prize. And Miss Weiss, if your device actually works, it could be worth millions. Good on you, gal. But how many men are going to use it? There's a link down below. Go look at it. Baby bison goes wandering in North Carolina town. A baby bison caused a stir in North Carolina when it escaped from its owner and was spotted wandering near a school. The Brunswick County Sheriff's Office said the 7-month-old calf was spotted wandering in ash on Thursday and Friday. The animal was seen Friday morning wandering near Jessie May Monroe Elementary School. The Sheriff's Office said the bison was safely captured Friday and returned to its owner. I wonder what that bison thought when it was near the school. I think maybe it was looking at the kids going, "Oh, I wish they'd come out and play." Man finds nearly 50-year-old message between two walls of his home. An Australian man renovating his home found a message in a bottle concealed between two walls and was able to find one of the construction workers who wrote the note nearly 50 years earlier. Matt Streetfield of Newcastle, New South Wales, said a glass milk bottle was found between two walls in his home during a recent renovation project, and inside was a note signed by 4 construction workers who built the walls decades earlier. The note, dated April 5, 1974, lists the workers who completed the project and explains the project was among their first after converting to the metric system. You always hear the legends of messages in a bottle, but you never think you'll find one in between two walls in your own house, he told NBN News. Streetfield posted photos of the note to Facebook and was later able to get in contact with Ron Nedry, I hope I pronounced that correctly, one of the workers who authored the message. "One of those little mementos has paid off," Mitri said. The fact that it was 47 years ago was even more of a shock. Streetfield said he plans to return the bottle to its former home when the renovation project is completed, along with the message in the bottle of his own. He said he is planning to include a little face mask from 2021 and a bit of a description of how life's been for the last couple of years. What a fantastic idea. Sorry, that's amazing. Who wants to own their own town? Tennessee has one for sale. A tiny Tennessee town consisting of a home, 4 general stores, and a barn is being listed for sale with an asking price of $725,000. The town of Water Valley, Maury County, is being listed online for $725,000 and includes a creekside home that was built in 1900. The listing also includes 4 general stores that were built prior to the 1900s. The listing states, 2 of the buildings included in the sale have updated wiring and plumbing, and the listing suggests the property could become a bed and breakfast or be put to other residential or commercial use. The sellers would really hope that whoever gets it wouldn't knock down any of the buildings that are here, Krista Swartz, the real estate agent representing the sellers, told WDEF-TV. When I see stories like this, I think of how the Missouri Quilt Company built up their town. It was a town that was dying, and they took storefront properties and turned it into this massive quilting company that you can go from store to store to store for the different types of fabrics. So, okay, who knows? Maybe Ella is looking for a home. I don't know how far that is from where Ella actually lives, but hey, it's a good price. You can turn it into your own business. Okay. Ontario woman wakes to meteorite landing on her pillow. And this is kind of a scary story. Just in time for Halloween. A British Columbia woman received an unusual rude awakening when a meteorite crashed through her roof and landed on her pillow. Ruth Hamilton said she was asleep at her Golden home when she became vaguely aware of her dog barking in the house. The next thing was just a huge explosion and debris all over my face, she told CBC News. Hamilton said she got out of bed and turned on the lights, revealing something had punched a hole in her ceiling. I didn't know what else to do, so I called 911, she said. Talking to the operator, she was asking me all kinds of questions, and at that point I rolled back one of the two pillows I'd been sleeping on, and in between them was the meteorite. Hamilton said the melon-sized space rock had landed just inches away from her head. A police officer came to Hamilton's home, and they initially suspected the rock may have been the result of construction at the nearby Kicking Horse Canyon. We called the Canyon Project to see if they were doing any blasting, and they weren't. But they did say they had seen a bright light in the sky that had exploded and caused some booms, Hamilton told the Victoria News. Experts at Western University in London, Ontario, confirmed the rock that landed in Hamilton's bed was a meteorite. It's certainly a meteorite, said Peter Brown, a professor with the university's physics and astronomy department. Everything about the story was consistent with a meteorite fall, and the fact that this bright fireball had occurred basically right at the same time made it a pretty overwhelming case. Brown said his team is planning to examine the rock and determine the type of meteorite. He say it may have fallen from the solar system's main asteroid belt. That's going to fetch a pretty penny if it did. Hamilton said the experience has given her a new perspective on life. The only other thing I can think of saying is life is precious, and it could be gone at any moment, even when you think you are safe and secure in your bed, she said. I hope I never take it for granted again. That's an amazing story. Do you remember a couple of years ago when I told you about the elk in Colorado that had the tire around its neck? No? Well, I'm going to remind you. Wildlife officers in Colorado finally were able to free a bull elk that was spotted wandering with a tire around its neck for at least 2 years. Colorado Parks and Wildlife said the elk was spotted south of Pine Junction on Saturday, and officers responded to search the area. The agency said it was the fourth time in the past week that officers attempted to locate and tranquilize the elk. Wildlife officers Scott Murdoch and Dawson Swanson successfully tranquilized the animal and cut through its antlers so the tire could be lifted off of the 600-pound elk's head. It was tight removing him removing it, said Murdoch in the CPW news release. It was not easy for sure. We had to move it just right to get it off, because we weren't able to cut the steel band in the bead of the tire. Fortunately, the bull's neck still had a little room to move. Murdoch said the decision was made to cut through the elk's antlers when the officers discovered they wouldn't be able to cut through the tire. We would have preferred to cut the tire and leave the antlers for his rutting activity, but the situation was dynamic and we had to just get the tire off in any way possible, he said. Parks and Wildlife said the 4.5-year-old elk first had been spotted with the tire around its neck about 2 years ago. Officials said numerous attempts were made to locate the elk to remove the tire, but officers were unsuccessful until the latest outing. The elk was released at the scene, minus about 35 pounds of tire and debris. And although that elk lost its antlers, and it's a beautiful set of antlers, now it's free at last. Alright guys, that's it for today. Please choose to be kind to one another. Be kind to someone on the street. And of all things, be kind to the cashiers that deal with us on a daily basis and put up with some of our crazy antics. Because I know lately it seems like there's been crazier and crazier things that have been going on in our grocery stores and in our lives. So, who knows? Just as always, be kind to one another. Alright, I will see you guys again later. Everybody have a great day. And, like I said, be kind.